Hello and welcome to this second video in the kind of Discord series that I'm running. So in this video, I'm breaking down Slack versus Discord, right? And it's no question that if you want to start or grow your own online business, whether that's a coaching business, an agency, and a consultancy, this means that you're going to need a team, manage that team. You're going to need to communicate with your clients, and you're going to need to create a community around what you do, right? So obviously you need a team, but your management of that team is super crucial, and your communication also has to be on point. And finally, if you don't have a community around what you do, then people are just not excited to work with you and for you, which is just not the situation that you want to be able to scale your business effectively, right? You want people to be excited to work with you and for you. You want to be able to manage effectively and communicate effectively. Being in the online space, this is even more important than in person, right? Because in person, it kind of happens naturally, but online, you really have to make sure that these four things are dialed in, right? And to make sure that they're dialed in, you're faced with two viable choices when it comes to softwares, and that's Discord and Slack. Now, I've personally used both at some point in my own journey of growing my six-figure online business, my digital marketing agency. So essentially the goal of this video is to be breaking down what I personally liked and disliked about each software. So generally the objective, even pros and cons of each, so that you can make your most informed decisions when choosing one for your own business. Okay, so I went through both of them. One of them definitely I did not enjoy, made everything harder, and the other made everything 10 times easier. So find out and stick around to the end of the video where I'll actually tell you which software out of the two I personally prefer and which one I highly recommend you should use to ensure the success and the growth and the, frankly, easy management of your own online business. Okay? So, by the way, for those of you that do not know Slack, this is kind of what it looks like. So see, we started using this Slack as the team started growing. So we were at 8 members at the end here. I think we're at 8 or 9 at the moment even. So we used this all for the month of September. And then we actually used Discord for all of the month of October, right? And this is the Discord channel. So I'll explain to you all the intricacies later in the video, but let's start with Slack. Okay, so if we start with Slack, the pros are obviously it's the go-to kind of professional software, right? It's well known pretty much in every single niche, so everyone knows Slack, and it's extremely professional, and you use it only for business, right? Whereas in some cases, Discord can be used by gamers and whatnot. Slack is a uniquely kind of business software. You're not going to be chatting with your friends on Slack. Number two, it has a good variety of integrations, right? So if you look into the app, you can actually go right here and integrate Google Drive. You can integrate your Zoom. I think I actually did integrate our Zoom. But frankly, it's a bit hard to find out how it actually works. The Google Drive, you can also integrate. You have the Slack bot here that kind of gives you some insights, but you can add a few apps in here, Trello, all of these stuff, Dropbox. So that's a big plus, is you can actually integrate a lot of applications in here, other third-party applications. And to be honest, the organization and the layout, although it's not probably 100%, it isn't horrible. You can kind of understand where everything is. So these are every single channel. These are the direct messages with the people on the team. You also have the DMs right here. You have your activity notifications. So it's relatively easy to understand, although the layout is pretty simple. Nothing crazy here, right? Now the cons though is that it's definitely confusing to use. Now, I say this, I'm not a Slack guru. I used it for 1 month only. So take with that what you will. But after using it for a month, I didn't really manage to see, it wasn't really clear. I was constantly searching for things like, is it a DM? Is it in the channel? And frankly, it was hard for the team as well to realize where they were sending their messages, right? And the integrations, honestly didn't even bother with that. And my media buyer even had a bit of trouble there. Now, secondly, it can also be quite costly for communication software. So at the end of the 30-day free trial, it was actually $7.25 US per person. And I don't mind paying for softwares when they're actually useful, right? But for a exclusively communication-based software, I found that this was wasn't cheap, per person, right? If you have a team of 8 people, this comes to almost $80 Canadian, right? Which I'm based in Canada for those of you that did not know. And for every client as well, you have this fee. So it adds up pretty quick. You could end up paying, $100 plus for Slack quite easily. And it's just a communication software. It's not like a Go High Level where for $297, you can essentially run your whole business, right? Number 3 is you actually need to be on a paid plan for video calls and external communication. So whereas you can stay on the free plan indefinitely to just communicate internally, if you want to actually create channels with people external to your organization, then you will have to pay. And if you want to do those calls, so for example, I go into general here and I want to do a call, then if we go right here into client marketing, so now it's kind of asking me all of the so if you want to start a call in the channel, you have to check out their paid plans, right? So right now it was just me in the call, but if I have other people that want to join the call, then I have to check out the paid plans. Okay, so once again, not ideal. Discord actually lets you do that for free. And finally, like I said earlier, you don't have that super cool look, and you can't even customize it. To my knowledge, you cannot change the colors here. You can't make it uniquely your agency. So every single person on Slack is going to have the same layout, the same kind of channels here, and then direct messages. You can change it to night mode. I do know that. But as for, let's say, putting your logo at the top or putting some kind of theme, you can't really do that. So that's kind of a bummer. Now, if we go to Discord, right? So this software right here, it is definitely extremely customizable. So if you look at the theme, of our server, it's kind of like space, since our branding is kind of based around a rocket at my agency. So you see here we have client constellations, we have my space, a little logo there. We have the crew members. So you have the commanders, which is me and my partner Jeremy, and the rest of the team also have like space themed essentially names, right? So that's pretty cool, and it's actually a free software, $2.99 a month if you want like some super emojis, they're called. So if you want to do add a super reaction, so see I'm out for this month, but you can essentially do the same reactions but super reactions, $3 a month if you want to. And you have like the $10 plan a month if you want to like boost your server and stuff like that. But you don't really need those. It doesn't really add any other extra benefits to running your business that I know of anyways. Number 3, you have the video calling option, which is great. Okay, we have the crew meetings. We have one-on-one communications. These are internal channels, so clients do not have access to them. But the voice channel that clients do have access to are the client meetings. So super simple. No need to send out Zoom links to everyone. No need to pay like Slack to be able to do huddles. Every single one of the clients has access to that meeting. We want to hop in a meeting. You send a message in their chat, in their server, and then boom, we join right there. Okay, so super, super clean. Everything is at the same spot. Now the layout, personally, this is pretty subjective, okay? I said I'd want to stay objective, but this is quite subjective. This layout versus this layout, frankly, I greatly prefer this one. It's just a bit more clear. You have the dark themed, you have the online, offline here. It's not all on this side, on the left. So I just prefer it way, way more, okay, to be honest with you. And there's still lots of possible integration. So in our case, we keep it quite simple for now. So we have Zapier to integrate with the leads that go into, for example, our caller Shaw's channel. And we also have Trello that's integrated, although can't kind of see this right here at the moment, but Trello is integrated, so it kind of gives deadlines, automatic reminders in every single team member's chat. So that's super great. Trello, for those of you that are not familiar, it's kind of an organization, task management, deadline meeting software as well. So it's pretty cool. You can do lots of integrations with that. Although I will say that if you do many integrations, especially with Zapier, then you will have to hop on the Zapier plan, paid plan that is, which is like $20 a month. So nothing crazy, definitely not as crazy as the $10 per team member on Slack, right? Cons to Discord, quite simple, is that depending on your niche, fewer people are used to using it. It's as simple as that. It may seem a bit less professional, but at the same time, it does have more of kind of a homey, cool, joyful feel to it. Anyways, that's in my opinion with, the super emojis and all of that stuff. So you may have some clients that are not used to using it at first. We certainly have had a few of those, but they get adjusted quite quickly since it's pretty easy to use, and you can even remove and add actions that they can take as to not confuse them, essentially, right? And it also takes some time to set up adequately, so to really separate everything, the clients, which are external, the internal space, for example, my personal content, which we don't really use this channel as much, the general chat, the voice channels, and every single crew member server. It does take some time to set up, although if you have a media buyer, that can be done, in an afternoon. So really nothing crazy there. And you can probably even just watch a tutorial on YouTube. Perhaps I maybe even will create a tutorial for this reason, and you can set that up pretty easily within an afternoon. So an afternoon in exchange for a lifetime of, breezing through client management, communications, internal, external, and all of that stuff is pretty worth it in my opinion. Okay, so as you guys can probably realize with the amount of pros and cons on Slack and on Discord, well, you guessed it, my choice is definitely Discord. Okay, it's way more fun, interactive, and has even more options for free than Slack on their basic paid option, right? So it has even more, or maybe at least as much for free, like the video calling and all of that you actually have to pay on Slack. You get that for free on Discord, and the layout is just so much cleaner, so much nicer, so much easier to use. And with the amount of things that you can just separate, the voice channels are separated from the servers, from the team member servers. Like, it's just crazy how much you can separate it while still branding it to your own specific business, making it interactive, making it fun, and making it effective. Okay, so if you agree with my choice, comment down below, Discord or Slack. I'm expecting a lot of Discords, but hey, maybe you guys know some things about Slack that I don't. So leave your comment down below. Subscribe to the channel as well, as I will be creating more in-depth tutorials regarding Discord, because in my opinion, it is the best software and kind of application to use in order to scale your online business to 6 figures, and doing so in a way that you are not just running in 10 different softwares for 10 different things and missing out on some communications. It's definitely the software to use to hit that 6-figure mark. So I appreciate you guys watching this video, and I will see you guys in the next one.